Hi, everybody. Welcome to Two Adults and a Baby 80s Movie Review Podcast. I'm Phil.
I'm Noreen. And we have the baby here with us,
the
too.
baby, yeah, he's eating wafer again. So today we're going to be talking about The Breakfast Club. It's one of our favorite 80s movies, probably one of yours, too. So, Noreen, why don't you introduce it to us and, let's get right into it.
Okay, well, I think everybody knows basically that this is about a bunch of high school students that get together by not a choice of their own. They have detention and they're forced to kind of bond with each other or be in the same room with each other for, I guess, 8 hours that day, which seems like a very long detention to me. But they're just forced to get to know each other, and each of the kids is different. Molly Ringwald is the princess of the group. We've got Bender, played by Judd Nelson. It's Judd Nelson, I believe, and he is
he's kind of like he's bad kid,
right.
Stoner, dropout.
Anthony Michael Hall is the nerd. Then we have Ali Sheedy, who's kind of known as I think they identify her as the basket case. And then you have the jock, played by Emilio Estevez. And so, they're all forced to just kind of talk to each other. And Judd Nelson is actually, his character kind of forces them all to sort of interact with each other.
Yeah, he's harsh. He's really like an interrogator.
So in my opinion, Judd Nelson and Anthony Michael Hall, they're the two funniest characters in the movie. Right. I think they're hilarious. Yeah,
they stand out. And what do you think is the key? Why do you think, Noreen, this movie about that takes place mostly in one room with a lot of talking and very little action is such a classic?
I think probably because, everyone, knows about, in high school, and even when you get into the real world, people label each other as jock, nerd, this, that. And, when people get to know each other on, a deeper level and realize that they have some similarities, that they all have feelings, that they're all people, I think that's a theme that everybody loves and enjoys.
Yeah, I noticed that, there's what really amazes me the more I watch this movie is how many scenes when you really watch different characters ally with each other at different times and different characters oppose each other at different times. Molly Ringwald's character, Claire, is in some way the leader of, or she's in the popular group of girls.
Right. She's I think the homecoming queen, they said, or prom queen.
Yeah, and you would think she has nothing in common with the kind of stoner burnout Bender, but then there's times where, because Bender is kind of like a popular kid in his own group, they almost seem similar.
They're both very assertive, right? They're both very opinionated, assertive. They both speak their minds. Whereas you have Ali Sheedy's character who barely speaks.
Right. She doesn't speak through much of the movie, and we don't really. She's just kind of like a mystery. And now, there's certain scenes that really show her own individuality too, where she doesn't join in, where everybody else is smoking pot. You would think maybe she'd be the one who would join them, and
stereotypically, right?
Right, but she doesn't. She's the only one who doesn't join in.
And also the interesting thing is I think the jock in the movie, played by Emilio Estevez, he actually was, I think, one of the sweetest guys in the movie. He was considerate of other people. I think, towards the end, he felt remorse for his bad actions. He admitted to doing something wrong to another child or another kid in the school, and he felt remorse and guilty about it, So that shows you that, okay, even though, he's a jock and you would think that he's very insensitive, he's probably one of the most sensitive people in it.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be his image in school, because he's in detention because he bullied very badly a nerd, one of the friends of the nerd that he's in detention with. So you're seeing that the people their surface image is not always who they truly are.
Exactly, yeah. So that's very interesting, yeah.
And what do you think? Now there's Vernon. There's a couple other. There's Vernon and the
There's a
janitor.
janitor, yeah.
So what do you think
Oh,
about?
you know
Yeah.
something that
Oh.
like I caught like recently was that at the beginning of the movie you see a close up of the janitor and it says I think the man of the year in his old yearbook or
Yeah.
or most likely to succeed
Like
man
a
of the
plaque,
year.
yeah.
Right? And it's just interesting, how they put that, at the beginning. And in terms of like how the other kids perceived him in the movie, right? They kind of made a joke about, him being a janitor, which was very rude. And they, kind of like we're trying to say that, hey, you're not all that just because, you're a janitor. And then, back in high school, he was man of the year. But, to the kids now, they were kind of like poking fun at him.
Yeah, that kind of makes you think like there's some talk about like, what are we going to be, right? They talk about the future, and the teacher Vernon, he says to Bender, he predicts that Bender is going to be like he's not going to do well in life. He's going to be sad to see in 5 years. So just those kind of things make there's so much to think about in this movie. There's like so many dimensions to it. So.
Yeah, the principal, they show him as just very frustrated. He doesn't feel respected. You get the vibe that, he thought maybe he would be someone that would be respected by the kids, but he's not.
Yeah, so he's kind of, on one level, you could see how if, your teenage self would make a joke out of somebody like him and prank him, but like sometimes it's kind of sad too. He's just trying to preside over this detention, really. He doesn't even get involved that much.
Right, and Judd Nelson's character isn't really making it easy for him.
No, really, if you think about it, he's just trying to get them to write an essay and shut up, and
right.
They won't do it.
Yeah. But yeah, high school kids and yeah, but like also from their perspective, right? Like, maybe they feel like the principal also is just labeling them as who they're perceived to be. Like when it was time to move, I think the principal wanted to move something against the door. He told the jock to get up and do it. So yeah, like he's kind of like labeled all of them too. So the essay at the end that Anthony Michael Hall's character writes is actually very important and very significant because he's trying to say that you're trying to put us all in one category, that you're trying to say that we're this way or that way, but there's, each of us has so much, like with our personalities, each of us is a basket case, or each of us is the princess, or each of us is the jock, that we're not just, who we are based on who you say we are.
Right, and then at the same time, it's not like they all kind of agree at the end, like, yeah, we're not going to be friends like on Monday.
And that's the sad reality that they're not going to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess they were honest with each other that they wouldn't be. Yeah, I think that part of the movie was a little sad, but it's true, right? Kind of true to life. So.
Yeah, but they still party, so that's what's great about it too. There's just the fun where they're smoking pot and they're all chilling and having fun. It's kind of like interspersed with these like moments where they're kind of all together, and then moments where they're like really apart and showing how different they are. Like, there's where they're dancing. That's like a really classic scene.
Oh yeah, in the library. On that amazing library, the whole second floor, they're like dancing on it. Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah.
Right. And we happen to know from somebody we are, that it was actually a gym that was converted into the library.
But yeah, it's a very cool library. Yeah.
Yeah, it has a statue and they throw like bologna on it. So there's a lot of, it never gets too sad. It never gets too dramatic. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's hilarious. There's parts that are really funny. Like I said, Anthony Michael Hall and Judd Nelson's character, they're just hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all great. Yeah.
So if you haven't already, check out The Breakfast Club, and if you already have, I hope you liked our review.